Hey guys, good morning. It is Wednesday and it is the day before Christmas Eve. Christmas is my favorite, and I debated about doing this today because I thought, oh, maybe we'll take the week off. But my friend Amy up in Canada did this exercise, I think a week ago, on her just a picture, and I thought, oh, that's a good one. I'm gonna go through that. So today we're on the Cadillac and we're looking at the tower. So this is an exercise that when I went through training and when I first started teaching, hated, did not like, felt like icky in my body and blah blah. I hadn't made all the connections yet. So I'm putting my socks on, sorry. So I wanted to kind of check in with this one because I think it's one of those that is a little confusing when you're kind of figuring it out, what to do and who to do it with. But for my body and me, the reason it was so icky in the beginning was the connection for me is those legs, is that reach of the legs. And I'm constantly working on keeping my legs really straight and really firing from the back. So this is a good one. But if you think about it, really think about it, it's like jackknife. It's your short spine, obviously. It's the long spine stretch. It's rollover. It's all of these things where we have to lift our hips. It's all of these things that we have to really use those legs in opposition as we roll down. So like in the mat, when you see people do jackknife or boomerang when they kind of go through it, anything where their legs are going up like that, or the long spine massage over there on the reformer, anything like that, when their legs kind of, they go up and it's great, and then they just kind of come down, right? So this gives that kind of feedback, right? So that they can really keep firing into those legs as they roll down. And if they're really doing that, if they're really reaching through and working those arms and that upper back, when they roll down, it's just this like juicy, like, oh, for their back. It's amazing. The other thing is you have that frog at the top, right? So you're holding your ball, you're holding that rolling ball, you're holding that rolling back in that position, and then getting that leg work up there and really getting that opposition while maintaining that. So you've got a lot happening there, and it's the same kind of feeling of the rolling back in that position. It's your short spine. I just could go on in repetitive here. So let's kind of take a look at it. The one thing I don't really feel comfortable with is when people roll up and they do very slow frogs at the top, because you're really in a very loaded position, right? So you have to be careful who you give this to. Do they have those concepts? Do they understand what all's working to keep that spine in a place where it's not being like weighted? So let's take a look at it. And as we all know, our practice is our own practice. So this isn't like beautiful. And that, I think, is one thing we need to think about with Pilates when we teach our client, is every body is different. I tell people in my teacher training this all the time. Everybody is different. So your ball, my ball, short spine teaser, it's all different. We're just trying to get that body to do the best it can do, right? And the most mobility we can give that body. So what I'm gonna do, it's bottom loaded, both safety chains are on. I'm gonna place my hands on the tower and I'm gonna kind of push out, lose my clothing, to where I'm really engaged in my arms here. So these have to work. So I'm kind of pushing in and pressing at the same time. And I really wanna feel that upper back connection, those arm back connections that we talk a lot about in Pilates. And just because I haven't really done anything yet, and if you had a client that maybe you haven't really done kind of this squat, then maybe just do a few of lengthening and bending, really firing, feeling that spring, and really thinking about, as you push the bar up, really pressing the hips into the mat, and really thinking about the back of the legs lengthening towards the other end of the Cadillac. And then from there, we're gonna lengthen those legs. So here's our jackknife, right? we're gonna push into those arms, because just like on the mat, we'd be pushing into them here. We'd be pushing into those shoulders. So we've got the same thing happening. Head up at the sky. We're gonna push into that jackknife up on those shoulders. And then I'm gonna bend and reach. And I'm really firing in to those arms. Now reach the legs. Now here we go. I'm gonna keep pushing that bar up, pushing into my arms as I roll it down. But my legs are still oh, it feels so good. Still pushing, right? And so let's try that again. So press, so here's where my legs wanna be. See how they're kind of like, So I have to really focus on pushing that bar. It may not be perfectly straight, but oh my gosh, I can feel all this working. Pressing and pushing up into that, and then bend, reach. And reach. I'm really pushing in my arms here. And then I'm going to try to keep pushing in my arms. It's like push into those legs. Those heels are squeezing together as we roll back down. And then I'm going to carefully come out of there. So, it's super fun, right? It's an awesome connection for jackknife and all of the things where we need them to keep that opposition of the push of the legs as the rest of the body is in opposition doing something else, usually rolling down. So all the things that we've kind of gone through with jackknife on your Wonder chair, I think we've done that one before. You can look on IGTV for that. All of those things. And if you also think about things that aren't jackknifey, you've got your going up front, going up side on the Wonder chair, your lunges. It's that same kind of reach of those legs, because for me, even teaser on the mat, it's those reach of the legs. So you'll kind of find these little patterns that they're doing throughout their work. From one exercise to the other, it just kind of carries through, and that's what I love about Pilates and teaching it, is that detective work of seeing what's happening today, what's this body doing, what just happened with their foot? Oh my God, it's doing it again over here, and kind of figuring it out. So anyway, that was today. Next week is New Year's week. I'll do it again. But Merry Christmas, guys. Be safe, be healthy. And I have enjoyed carrying this on. I didn't think the pandemic would be going on this long. So I started these in March. So I'll just keep doing them. And you guys, hi Emily. You guys just be safe. Have a Merry Christmas. Hope Santa is good to you. Bye guys.